day 5 of my 7th annual SLAP challenge. SLAP, S-L-A-P, stands for squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. We are doing at least 40 squats, at least 40 lunges, at least 40 reps of an ab exercise, and at least 40 push-ups a day, every single day except Sundays for 40 days, and this is day 5. Today starts our first full week of the challenge. Of course, you do not have to join the challenge just to do this workout with me. So there are timestamps in the description box down below the video. If you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, you can go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But if you would like to hear a little bit about the challenge, what it is, how it works, how you can participate, where to begin, and if you would like to see today's exercises demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So as I said, 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of an ab exercise, and 40 push-ups a day, every single day except Sundays for 40 days. And that is basically the challenge in a nutshell. This is day 5. So we started the challenge last Wednesday. If you missed that, you can still join the challenge. It is not too late to join. It is never too late to join. You can hop in today and just start on day 5. That's fine if that's how you want to do it. If you're the one doing it, it's your challenge. So you do it in whatever way works for you. If you do want to start with day 1 of the challenge, I will link the video for day 1 up here in the iCard. So click on the link, watch the video for day 1 that's going to explain everything you need to know about the challenge and how to participate. If you need any more information than that, then you're going to want to check out last year's day 1 video. Last year, I was specifically gearing the challenge towards absolute beginners. So if you are a beginner, you're going to follow along with the playlist that I made for this challenge last year. So here's what I'm going to do. If you are an absolute beginner, I'm going to link last year's playlist in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video, and I will link it at the very end of the video as well, just to make sure that you can't miss it. If you are a beginner, here's what I would like you to do. I want you to click on that link. That will take you to the playlist that I made last year for the challenge. First thing you want to do is save that playlist, so that when and if you decide that you want to participate in the challenge, you have all of the workouts readily available to you. All you have to do is follow along with the playlist. It's super easy to follow along. And then, after you have saved the playlist, I want you to begin by just watching that day 1 video. It's a long video, but it covers everything you could possibly want to know about what this challenge is, why we're doing it, how it originated, what we're looking to accomplish with it, and how you can participate and where to begin. And I also provided tons of beginner modifications for all 4 of these exercises: squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups, that I promise you can do. Even if you are in terrible shape, even if you have never done a workout before a day in your life, you can do push-ups, you can do squats, you can do this challenge. So just start by watching that day 1 video. You don't have to commit to anything yet. Just click on the link, save the playlist, watch the day 1 video. From there, if you decide that you do want to participate in the challenge, all you're going to do is make sure that you start with your day 1 workout on a Wednesday. Any given Wednesday will work, but if you just start with your day 1 workout on a Wednesday, and this is for all fitness levels, regardless of which playlist you're going to follow along with, start with day 1 on a Wednesday, and from there, everything will fall into place. All you have to do is open up the playlist every day and do the next workout. Remember, Sundays are our rest days, but that's all going to be covered. All you have to do is follow along with the playlist. It is super easy to follow along, I promise. If you are in really good shape and you are much more advanced and you're looking for workouts that are really, really going to challenge you, and you have a little bit more time to spend on your workout, and you own some basic pieces of fitness equipment, you are probably going to want to follow along with the playlist that I made in year 5 of the challenge. And again, I will link that playlist up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video, and I will link it at the very end of the video as well. So for year 5 of the challenge, those workouts were much more difficult. They were usually a lot longer because we were doing more than just those 160 reps most days. More than just 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of abs, and 40 push-ups. We were also doing much more challenging variations of those 4 exercises. We were frequently adding weight to the workout, dumbbells, sandbag, things like that. And sometimes we were doing exercises other than just squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. I was also incorporating about 20 minutes or so of moderate paced cardio right into most of those workouts. So if you are in great shape and you feel like you're more advanced, then definitely click on the link in the iCard, save the playlist from year 5 of the challenge. And from there, same thing, just start by watching that day 1 video that's going to explain everything you need to know about what the challenge is and how to participate in it. And then make sure that you start with your day 1 reps on a Wednesday. And from there, again, all you have to do is just follow along with the playlist. So if you are not an absolute beginner, but you're also not super advanced, and you feel like you need something that's kind of in between, I have excellent news for you. This year, we are in our Mama Bear era. So that means that the workouts we're doing this year for the challenge are not geared specifically towards ultra super duper day 1 beginners like last year's workouts were. They're also not super long and super difficult. They are kind of just intermediate. So if that's the level you feel you're at right now, you are going to follow along with this workout that I'm doing today, and you are going to follow along with this year's playlist. So I will put a link for this year's playlist up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video, and I will link it at the very end of the video as well, just to make sure you can't miss it. So save the playlist. I recommend that regardless of your fitness level, you save all 3 playlists just so that you have those options. So if on any given day, the workout that I'm doing is a little bit too challenging for you, or you don't have the pieces of equipment that I'm using, then you need to follow along with last year's workout, then you have that workout available to you. By that same token, if what I'm doing on any given day is not really challenging you and you feel like you want something more and you have some more time to dedicate to your workout, you might want to check out the workout that we did for that same day, that corresponding day in year 5. So you can kind of just bounce around between all 3 of the playlists depending on how you feel that day, how much you want to challenge yourself, and what you're capable of. So I recommend saving all 3 playlists, and that way you have 3 levels to choose from. You'll have 3 different options for each day of the challenge. All right, so hopefully that is all clear. All of the links are in the description box, so if you're having trouble finding any of them, please let me know. And if you have any more questions about what the challenge is, how it works, how you can participate, where to begin, I'm right here to help, so please ask questions if you have them. That being said, I'm going to assume that if you are an absolute beginner, you will be following along with last year's day 5 workout. That would be my preference if you are an absolute beginner. Or if you do not have any dumbbells, any fitness equipment, or you don't want to add weight to your workout. Because what we're doing today is essentially the same exact workout we did last year, but I'm adding weight. I'm making a couple of little changes, but essentially it's the exact same workout. So all I'm using today is 2 sets of dumbbells. If you feel like you are more of an intermediate level and you want to add weight to the workout, but you don't have dumbbells, grab a couple of shampoo bottles or water bottles. You can fill them with water. You might be able to make them a little bit heavier by filling them with something like uncooked rice or dried beans or lentils or kitty litter, powdered laundry detergent, something like that. If you're going to take your workout to the beach or to the park, maybe you could fill them with sand or dirt. Another thing I think might be a good idea, that you could probably make them a lot heavier if you fill them with something like those little decorative pebbles. You can get them like at the dollar store, they're really cheap. But just get creative and use what you've got, as long as you can find something that you're able to maintain a secure grip on so that you're not going to drop it and injure yourself or break something and make a mess. And as long as it's not too heavy for you, then any number of household items can work for weight. And again, if you want to take your workout to the beach or the park or the hiking trail, you could probably find a couple of rocks even. So get creative and use what's available to you. But if you have absolutely nothing that's going to work for weight, or you just don't want to add weight to the workout, then you have 2 options. I will be providing equipment-free modifications today, so you can just follow along with me today, just without weight. Or again, you can do last year's day 5 workout, okay? I will put the link for that specific workout up here in the iCard, and it will also be linked in the description box down below the video. So that's another option for you. For reference, and for reference only, my lighter set of dumbbells weigh 5 pounds a piece, and then my heavier set of dumbbells weigh 10 pounds a piece. These weights are going to work well for me today. You may need to use something lighter or heavier than that. It depends on your strength. It depends on your level of fitness. It also depends on what you have available to you. And of course, it depends on how hard you are looking to push yourself today. So please consider all of those factors when choosing your weights and make the decision that is best for you. I am going to be using light weights for 2 of the exercises, and I'm going to be using my heavier set of weights for the other 2 exercises. But again, that's a decision you need to make for yourself. But that's what I'm using today. And then the only other thing you're going to need for this workout today is something soft beneath you. So I have my jump rope mat here that I'm going to use. An exercise mat or a yoga mat is ideal, but if you don't have a mat, a towel should probably suffice. And if you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all. So let's go ahead and get right into the exercises that we are doing today. Let's get into our squats, lunges, abs, and push-up variations that we are incorporating into this workout that we are doing today. So again, if you are following along with this video, I'm going to assume that you are not a beginner. I'm going to assume that you are familiar with how to do these exercises with the correct form. If you are not, if you are a beginner and you have questions about how to do these exercises with the correct form, again, please follow along with last year's day 5 video. I will go over the correct form just a little bit, but I'm not going to go into a ton of detail. If there's anything I gloss over, if you have any questions, again, I'm here to help, so please ask. But we are starting today with lunges. I'm doing side jump lunges. So you can do any side lunge variation you want, or really any lunge variation you want. It doesn't have to be side lunges. You can do forward lunges, reverse lunges, dragon lunges, curtsy lunges. It doesn't matter. You can do jump lunges, okay? So the really beautiful thing, one of the really beautiful things about this challenge is that as long as you're getting your 160 reps done every day, that is literally the only requirement to participate in the challenge. So if the variations of these exercises that I'm doing don't work for you, just substitute with any other lunge variation, okay? Any other push-up variation, any other squat variation, any other ab exercise you want, okay? But I'm going to be doing side jump lunges. So make sure your shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, tighten up your abs. Make sure you're pushing your booty back so that you're keeping your back flat and keeping the weight in the heel. So what you're going to do is step 1 foot out to the side and lunge down. This is your starting position. I like to tap the ground in that position, but don't worry about tapping the ground if the only way you can do that is by rounding your back. Make sure you're keeping your shoulder blades tucked into your back pockets. Chest is lifted high, shoulders are back and down. You're pushing your booty back, your spine is elongated, your back should stay flat, and all of your weight should stay in this heel. So from here, if you are able to reach down and tap the ground without rounding your back, great, go for it. If not, don't worry about it. Just tap your knee, okay? Or your calf or something like that. Just make sure you're keeping your back flat, keeping the weight in your heel. So that's your starting position. From here, all you're going to do is jump and switch the position of your feet so that you are in a side lunge position on the opposite side, reaching down to tap the ground or as close as you can get with the opposite hand. Okay, super simple. So just jump and switch the position of the feet. Jump and switch the position of the feet, okay? So I'm just going to be holding onto my light set of dumbbells while I do that. You can absolutely do this exercise with the heavier dumbbells. It just, when I do it with my heavy dumbbells, it just slows me down a lot. It takes me a lot longer. And the middle portion of the workout is already going to take a long time. So the point is that I want the first and the last part to go a little bit more quickly. So I'm using my lighter set of weights. You don't have to add weight if you don't want to. You can do the exercise the way I just showed you. I'm just going to be holding on to a very light set of dumbbells. Same thing. So instead of reaching down with one hand, I'm just reaching down towards my mat with both of my dumbbells. Okay, so it does add difficulty for sure, but because the weights are so light, it also enables me to kind of keep a good pace so that that exercise doesn't take me too long. You absolutely can do it with the heavier dumbbells. I've done it with heavier dumbbells many times. It just takes a lot longer, okay? So make the decision that is best for you, but that's our first exercise. Then, for our last exercise, let me show you that first because my mat is already here and I need my mat for that. And this is the other exercise I'm doing with my lighter set of weights. So what we did last year was just a single leg toe touch. So starting down here on the mat, on your back with your legs extended and your arms extended up overhead. And then all you're going to do is lift one leg, and at the same time you're going to sit up and tap the toes with the hand on the opposite side. Return to your starting position. Alternating sides with each rep, so now lift the other leg, lift the opposite hand and tap the toes. Return to your starting position. So just single leg toe touch, alternating legs with each rep. All right, so that's your equipment-free modification. That's what we did last year. So if you want to add weight, again, I'm just holding on to my light set of dumbbells for this, and I'm going to increase the difficulty by keeping my shoulder blades up off the mat the entire time, and I'm also going to keep my heels elevated off the mat the entire time. So that's how we're increasing the difficulty, and we're also adding weight to increase the difficulty. So we're doing kind of this hollow hold, and then instead of starting with my arms extended up overhead, I'm going to have my dumbbells here at my shoulders. Okay, so this is my starting position, and then I'm just going to add kind of a chest press. So with each leg lift, I'm just reaching up to tap the toes with the dumbbell on the opposite side. So very similar, just holding on to weight, and then again increasing the difficulty by keeping my shoulder blades and my heels elevated off the mat the entire time. That's my ab exercise. You do any ab exercise you want with or without weight. So now let's get to the middle of the workout, which is going to be super tough, and it's gonna take a minute. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be tough and it's going to be long. So for the middle part of the exercise, we're essentially just doing burpees. We're going to be combining our squat variation with our push-up variation. So make sure for your squats, again, that your shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high. Push your booty back so your back stays flat, weight stays in your heels as you come down into your squat, and then press your heels into the ground to stand. I'm going to be doing squat jumps. Again, we've done these already a couple times. So squat down and jump up. Okay? You do any squat variation you want, just make sure your back stays flat, make sure the weight stays in your heels. Then we're combining that with a push-up. So you can do any push-up variation you want. Again, just make sure that your head is in line with your spine, shoulders are away from the ears, make sure you're keeping your back flat. So as you come down into your plank pose, make sure that your head is not drooping down towards the mat like this. Head should be in line with the spine. Make sure you're not sinking into your shoulders. Press the ground away from you so that your shoulders are away from your ears. Make sure your back is flat. You're not allowing your hips or your belly to droop down towards the mat like this. Tighten up those abs. Lift your hips up high and keep them lifted high. Once you have found this beautiful plank position, you make sure that your body stays in one perfectly straight line from your heels all the way to your shoulders. If you're doing knee push-ups, your straight line is from your knees all the way to your shoulders. But you're just going to bend your elbows, lower your chest as close to the ground as you can. Push yourself back up. Okay, so just make sure that you maintain integrity in that plank pose the entire time. Your body should be in one perfectly straight line the entire time. So that's it. That's your equipment-free modification. And again, that's what we did last year. So any squat variation you want, with or without weight, with or without a jump, combined with any push-up variation you want from the toes or from the knees, okay? And that's it. We're just going to do that 40 times. It's basically just doing 40 burpees in a row. So good luck with that. I told you it's going to be tough. So put all together, it's just going to what it's going to look like. Just squat down, jump up, hands down, jump or step the feet back, push up, jump or step the feet in. That's one set. You're just going to do that 40 times. Okay? I'm going to be adding weight. So my dumbbells are hex dumbbells, which means that they're shaped like a hexagon on the ends, which means that they're flat on the bottom. So if your dumbbells are not flat on the bottom, I would prefer that you eliminate the added weight for the push-up. I know there are plenty of people who will hold on to rounded dumbbells in a plank pose and do push-ups while holding on to rounded dumbbells. Look, it is up to you what level of risk you feel comfortable taking, but for the record, I would prefer that you modify this exercise so that you have your hands flat on the floor or the ground while you do your push-ups. Okay, then you can add a couple of plank rows. I'm going to be doing renegade row push-ups, which just means that I'm going to be adding a couple of rows after each push-up. So I'm going to be holding onto my dumbbells while in my plank pose and while I do my push-up. So if you are using dumbbells that are rounded on the ends, or if you are using household items for weight, like shampoo bottles or water bottles, I would prefer that you set your dumbbells out a little bit wider apart so that you can have space to put your hands in between the dumbbells. Do your push-up from this position. And then for your plank rows, just pick up one dumbbell, leaving the other hand flat on the floor or the ground as you row the weight up towards your shoulder. Place the weight back down, let go. Put that hand down, and then repeat on the other side. Pick up the other dumbbell, leaving your opposite hand flat on the floor or the ground. Row the weight up towards your shoulder on the same side. Place the weight back down with control, let go. Place the other hand back down on the ground, and then jump or step your feet in. I'm going to be holding onto my dumbbells while I do my push-up. So renegade row push-up. Push-up on the dumbbells, and then one plank row on each side. First, I'm going to be doing my jump squat, but I'm just holding my weights to my side for this, so I'm not doing anything with them, but the added weight does make this exercise much more difficult. So I'm gonna squat down, jump up, then place my weights down on the ground, jump my feet back. You can step your feet back if you prefer. Push up on the dumbbell, row, row, jump the feet in, and stand. And that's one set of my combo. All right, so that's it. That's all for exercises. Now here is the format. We are starting with side jump lunges. We're going to just do one set of 40. So we're gonna get all of our lunges out of the way first thing. Then we'll move on to our combo, our squat and push-up combo. So we're going to do all 40 sets of that, unbroken-ish. I'm sure I'll have to pause and take rest breaks, but the point is that we're going to do all 40 squats and push-ups before moving on to abs. Okay, so 40 side jump lunges, 40 sets of our squat and push-up combo, and then we'll finish with 40 reps of our ab exercise, and that's it. That's the workout. So hopefully that is clear. Please remember that I do always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video. And of course, I'm going to do the entire workout right along with you. So watch me do it, read the instructions, but then of course, as always, if anything is unclear with the format, how everything fits together, if you have questions about any of the exercises that we are doing today, if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications beyond what I have already provided, please just ask. It is incredibly important that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. And hopefully you guys know that it is also incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. So I'm always here to help facilitate that. Please do not hesitate to reach out if you have questions. I also want to remind you, especially if you're going to be working out along with the video, to please make sure that you are working to your own level. So that means choosing dumbbells or household items that are an appropriate weight for you. It means dropping the added weight if it becomes too taxing. It means going at your own pace. So please do not race to stay ahead of me at the expense of your form. Please do not race to keep up with me at the expense of your form. If you're faster than I am, wonderful. Be faster than I am, as long as you are not losing anything off of your form to get there. If you are slower than I am, also wonderful. As long as you got dressed and you got out here and you are doing the reps, you are putting in the work, you're getting your 160 reps done to participate in the challenge, that's all I care about, okay? That, and that you're doing the reps with the proper form. So don't worry about how fast you're going, all right? If you fall behind because you're just working at a slower pace than I am, or because you're finding that you need to take longer rest breaks than what I'm taking, or you're needing rest breaks where I'm not taking them, that's fine. Just pause the video, come back when you're ready. I'm not going anywhere. You come back and we'll finish the workout together, okay? I want you to challenge yourself to keep your rest breaks as short as you can, but they should be as long as you need. So you should only resume the workout once you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina so that you can continue with good form. So please make sure that you are going at your own pace and minding your form. Do not sacrifice your form for speed. And please make sure that you are not pushing your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. So if you're not ready to add weight, don't add weight. If you can't squat super low, don't push it, okay? If you can't tap the ground, don't round your back to get there. Just shorten up your range of motion. Make sure that you are being smart, being safe. Please make sure you're listening to your body and always make the decision that is best for you, and just do your best. Okay, remember that your best is always good enough, so let your best be good enough. Hopefully I have covered everything. If you are ready to go ahead and begin the workout, gather whatever equipment you need. So for me, that's a lighter set of dumbbells, a heavier set of dumbbells, and an exercise mat. That is all I need for this workout today. You will definitely be more comfortable with something soft beneath you, so an exercise mat or a yoga mat is ideal if you have one. If not, maybe a towel. And again, if you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all. Grab 1 or 2 sets of dumbbells if you have that available to you. If not, look for household items that will work, shampoo bottles or water bottles filled with some sort of weight. And again, if you have nothing that's going to work for weight, or you just don't want to add weight to the workout, that's fine. You have your equipment-free substitutions. Pause the video, go get dressed. Meet me right back here. We're going to start with a little 5-minute warm-up, and then we'll get right into these day 5 reps. So as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 5-minute warm-up. You're going to begin by just allowing your head to fall towards one shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Make sure that you're not actively pulling your ear down towards your shoulder. You're just resting your hand there. Your arms should be completely relaxed. You're just allowing gravity to do all the work of gently stretching the other side of your neck by just using the weight of your arm. Switching sides. So allow your head to fall towards the opposite shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Make sure your arm is completely relaxed. Make sure your shoulders are completely relaxed. They should be down away from your ears. Feel that nice stretch inside of your neck. Now we're going to do some head rolls. So rolling the head from one shoulder to the other and back. Each time you roll your head from one shoulder to the other, just start feeling your head getting heavier and heavier. Allow your range of motion to increase so that eventually your entire torso is kind of spilling in front of you. Your arms are nice and loose like a rag doll. Next, we're going to do some shoulder rolls. So roll the shoulders either towards the back or towards the front. It doesn't matter. Just want to make sure you're really exploring your full range of motion here. So make really big circles with your shoulders, kind of exaggerate the movement. Next, we're going to do arm circles. So extend your arms out to the sides and make your circles either towards the back or towards the front. It doesn't matter, but we're starting small with our arm circles. And gradually, as the interval progresses, you're going to start making your circles bigger and bigger until finally you are exploring your full range of motion, making those circles as big as you can. Now step your feet out so that they're a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Bend the knees and sweep the arms in front of you as you straighten your legs. You're reaching up as high as you can towards the ceiling. And each time you bend your knees, just allow your range of motion to increase, sinking deeper and deeper into that squat. Now keep your feet planted right where they are. They should be wider than shoulder width apart. We're just going to lunge side to side, nice and easy. And add the arms. So now with each lunge, you're just reaching your arm across your body. You should feel like you're trying to throw your arm across the room. Just loosening up those shoulders. Next, we're going to march in place. So step your feet in and march. Knees are low to start, but as the interval progresses, I want you to start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you possibly can towards your chest. Really get them up there. Feel that nice little stretch in your glutes. Now we're going to jog in place. Again, knees are low to start, but gradually you want to start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you are driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. Here goes my timer. Hopefully it's still running. Next is booty kicks. So now with each step, I'm just bringing my foot behind me. I'm trying to kick yourself in the booty cheek with your heel. If you struggle with balance, you can hold onto the wall or a chair for support. If not, hands on the hips is fine. You're going to transfer your weight into one foot, pick up the other foot, and just swing the leg front and back. Nice and loose. We're just waking up those hip flexors. And now we're going to switch legs. So you'll put this foot down, transfer your weight, pick up the other foot, and swing the leg front and back. You can start low, and then as the interval progresses, if it feels comfortable, you can start expanding your range of motion, swinging that leg higher and higher. Now put this foot down, transfer your weight again. Extend the other leg out in front of you, and then bring the leg around and behind. Each time you make that little semicircle with your leg, lift the leg higher and higher, and then for the last 2 reps, we're going to do a hip circle. So drive the knee up towards your chest, use your hand to guide it around. Other side, extending the opposite leg out in front, bringing the leg around and behind, and each time you make that semicircle, lifting the leg higher and higher, finishing with 2 hip circles. Drive the knee up towards your chest, use your hand to guide it around. Finishing with a hamstring stretch, so feet are wide apart. You can use the wall or a chair or the arm of your couch to assist you. Might make it a little bit easier to keep your back flat. You want to keep your back as flat as you can while coming into this stretch so that you isolate your hamstrings more effectively. So if you use the wall or a chair or the arm of your couch or something like that to assist you, it might make this stretch a little bit more accessible. Makes it a little bit easier to maintain that flat back and might make it more comfortable for you. You guys know, maybe you don't. If you don't know, I tend to be really tight in the backs of my legs, so I frequently like to spend a few extra seconds in that hamstring stretch before beginning the workout. But that's it. That's our little 5+ minute warm up. So let's get right into the workout. We're starting with 40 side jump lunges with or without weight. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So I'm just using a light set of weights for these. You're going to start in your side lunge position, then jump and switch the position of your feet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to 40. Do your best. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 40. So our lunges are done already. Now, that only took like a minute, but this next part is going to take much longer than a minute. So I'm using my heavier set of dumbbells for this. This is our squat and push-up combo. So I'm doing a weighted jump squat plus a renegade row push-up. That's my combo. We're just gonna repeat that 40 times. It's gonna be super tough, so do your best. You can stick with your lighter weights for this if you want, and you can eliminate the added weight if you want. If you're stronger than I am and you don't need this long rest break, don't take it. You know what we're doing. I just need a minute because I know this middle section is going to be super long and super tough. So I'm going to take a couple more deep breaths here. I want my heart rate to come down just a little bit more. If you need a longer rest break, you can always pause the video and come back when you're ready. All right. So we're doing basically a suitcase squat here with a jump up. It's just a weighted jump squat. So holding my dumbbells to the side, starting with our weighted jump squat. So squat down, jump up. Now weights down, jump or step the feet back. Renegade row push up. Push up on the dumbbells, one row on each side. Jump or step the feet in and stand. That's one set. So we're going to do that 39 more times. Do your best. That's my first 10. If you want to prioritize keeping moving, then you can do like 10 with weight, 10 without, and then go back to the weight, take away the weight. You could drop down after each 10 reps. So do it in whatever way works for you, as long as you're getting 40 squats done and 40 push-ups done somehow. Doesn't matter how you get them done. All right, I'm gonna start on my next 10. I feel like I could use another minute, but I don't wanna be out here all day, so I'm just gonna do my best. I'll see if I can do another 10 unbroken. If not, I'll do 5 and 5. If you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. Here we go, I'm picking up my count at 10. halfway there. Have to do another 20 reps. So I'm just taking, again, like a good minute at least here to breathe a little bit, let my heart rate come down a little bit, and allow my body to kind of regain some strength. So I'll make it my goal to do another 10 sets of the combo unbroken if I can. It's starting to feel like I can't. So if I need to start breaking down into sets of 5, that's what I'll do. Do whatever you need to make it work for you. But I'm picking up my count at 20. So when you're ready, here we go. That's 30. Just 10 more. For my final 10 sets, I'm just gonna break it up into 2 groups of 5. I think that's going to be the most efficient way for me to get this done. All right, so hopefully I can do 5 unbroken. Here we go, pick up my count at 30. sets. But these are taking a lot out of me. I need another minute. All right. 5 more. It's 36. 37. 38. 39. Last one. That's 40. Okay. Switching to my lighter set of weights. So all we have left is our 40 reps of abs. I'm doing these weighted single leg toe touches. You can absolutely hold on to heavier weights for this if you want. I don't want them to take forever. I wanted the first and last exercises to go by a little bit more quickly than that middle part. So I'm holding on to my lighter set of weights for these. You don't have to add weight at all if you don't want to. All right, so I'm starting with my weights by my shoulders. I'm going to lift my shoulder blades up off the mat, lift my heels up off the mat, and now lift one leg at a time, tap the toe with the dumbbell on the opposite hand, alternating sides with each rep. So that's 3, 4. We're going to 40, do your best. All right, picking up my count at 4. I'm gonna zip it so I can conserve some energy. You know what we're doing. I have to do 36 more of these. If you follow my workouts regularly, you knew I would be crying by now. I cry every time we do abs. Oh, my weakling little abs. Okay. Picking up my count at 24. That's 30. Just 10 more. that's 40. If you're super strong and you have like really strong abs and you have more time and you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can double the abs so that you're doing 40 reps on each side. That's plenty for me. That took me 19 minutes and 29 seconds. I did not set a time goal going into this, but finished in under 20 minutes, and I'm good with that. That was actually a really tough little workout. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. Let me move this stuff out of the way and then we'll do our bonus burpee together. The bonus burpee is just like that exclamation point on the end of the workout. It's a little celebration that we got it done, that we completed another day of the challenge, and that we stuck with it for another day. And it's that final slap across Brutus's face that's going to really shut him up for the rest of the day. And if you don't know who Brutus is a big part of the reason why we do this challenge. So make sure you watch that day 1 video from last year. I explained all about Brutus and how to fight him. He doesn't stand a chance against us, I promise. So this bonus burpee is just kind of a reminder of that fact. It's a reminder of the strength that we have, that we just summoned the motivation to stick with this challenge for another day and get these reps done. So let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. As soon as you're ready, here we go. This is our final rep of the day. The workout is now officially complete, so let's just do a quick little cool down together. Just want to keep moving for a couple minutes after the workout while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit and while you allow your breathing to normalize, so you can pace around back and forth, maybe shake out the legs a little bit. Let's do a quick shoulder stretch. Bring one arm across your body, use your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Make sure your arm is completely relaxed and make sure your shoulder is relaxed, otherwise you're not going to be able to stretch it effectively. And you just want to keep moving while we're doing these stretches, so you can pace, you can shake out the legs, you can even just kind of shift your weight from foot to foot like this. That's fine. Come out of it. Let's get the other shoulder. So bringing the opposite arm across your body, using your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Arm is straight, arm is relaxed, shoulders are relaxed. Feel that nice stretch in your shoulder. Make sure you're continuing to move and make sure you're focusing on slowing down your breathing. So you do that by breathing all the way down to your belly button. As you inhale, feel your diaphragm being pulled down. Allow your rib cage to expand and visualize filling up your entire torso with air. And then use your diaphragm to control the exhale. Shake it out. Let's do a quick tricep stretch. So bending one elbow, place your hand on the elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, making sure that the fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground so that you feel that nice stretch in your triceps. You want to make sure that you avoid having this free hand hanging out up here somewhere by your shoulder. So point those fingers straight down to the ground as you gently pull your shoulder or your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Make sure you're continuing to move. Make sure you're continuing to focus on your breathing. So let's take one more deep breath here, sending that breath all the way down to your belly button. Control the exhale and come out. Let's get the other side. So bending your other arm, place your hand on your elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Making sure that the fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. Feel that nice stretch in your triceps. Make sure you're continuing to move and make sure you're continuing to focus on your breathing. So you can pace around, shake out the legs, or just shift your weight from foot to foot. And one more deep breath. Again, feel your diaphragm being pulled down as you inhale, breathing all the way down to your belly button. Allow your rib cage to expand, fill up your entire torso with air, and control the exhale. All right, let's finish with a quad stretch. So if you struggle with balance, you can hold onto the wall or a chair or some other strong, sturdy, stable, elevated surface for support. You're going to bend one knee, bring the foot behind you and reach back. Grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side if you're holding onto something for support. If you are not holding onto anything for support, you can go ahead and reach back, grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands, and now press your heel into your booty cheek. Really press it in there. And as you do that, I want you to tilt your pelvis forward. So kind of tuck your booty underneath you. Think about trying to touch your spine with your belly button. As soon as you combine both of those two elements, you're going to instantly feel that stretch intensify as you stretch, as you isolate your quad muscles more effectively. You're going to feel the stretch intensify in your quads, but I also want you to feel the stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexors. So make sure you're continuing to really press your heel into your booty cheek as you tilt your pelvis forward. Let's take one more nice deep breath here, breathing all the way down to your belly button. Control the exhale and come out. Let's get the other leg. So bending the opposite knee, bring the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side if you're holding on to something for support. If you are not holding on to anything for support, you can reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. Press your heel into your booty cheek, and as you do that, make sure you are tilting your pelvis forward, tucking that booty underneath you, sucking your belly button all the way back towards your spine. Make sure you're doing both of those things simultaneously. So focus on tilting your pelvis forward at the same time as you are pressing your heel into your booty cheek. And make sure you're continuing to focus on your breathing. Feel that nice stretch in your quads. Really tilt that pelvis forward. Feel that stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexors. Let's take one more nice deep breath here. So breathing all the way down to your belly button. As you inhale, feel that diaphragm being pulled down. Allow your rib cage to expand. Fill up your entire torso with air. And now control the exhale. And come out. Shake out the legs. Shake out the wrists. Shake out the arms. And that's it. That's our little cool down. So now what I'm going to do is tack on an additional 20 minutes of moderate paced cardio with my jump rope. So I have Rebecca here with me today. Rebecca is my adorable black jump rope with these cute little white skulls on the handles. If you would like to know where I get my jump ropes, there's a link and a coupon code in the description box down below the video. So click on the link and use coupon code Rebecca to save an additional 10% on your jump rope. I am going to set my interval timer for 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals times 40 rounds. That's 20 minutes. I'm going to get some music going and just knock out my cardio. 20 minutes of moderate paced cardio with my jump rope. The additional cardio is not mandatory. It is not required. It is not technically part of the challenge. But I'm sharing it with you because every year that is how I do this challenge. I like to add on an additional 20 to 30 minutes or more of moderate paced cardio after the workout. And I strongly recommend that you do the same if you have time. You don't necessarily have to do it every single day. But if you are using this challenge to try to get yourself in shape, if you're using this challenge to try to lose weight, improve your stamina, then the additional 20 to 30 minutes or more, if you want, of cardio after the workout is really going to go a long way towards helping you to accelerate that process. You'll start to see results faster, which is really encouraging because you can start to see the results of your hard work, and it makes you want to keep going. So it makes it easier to find the motivation to stick with the challenge. And then of course it snowballs from there. And I just really think that you'll be so much happier with your results on day 40 if you find at least 2 or 3 days a week to tack on the additional 20 to 30 minutes or more of moderate paced cardio immediately after the workout. Every day is great if you can, if you have the time. That's the way I like to do it. But you know, that's not always feasible. So if you can find 2 or 3 days at least every week to tack on the additional cardio, again, it is not mandatory. It is not officially part of the challenge, but it is strongly recommended. Also, very, very strongly recommended, do your stretching. So I'm going to do my cardio first and then I'll do my stretching afterwards. That's how I like to do it. It doesn't matter what time of day you get your stretching done or where you incorporate your stretching. You can do it before the workout, after the workout, before your cardio, after your cardio. It doesn't matter, as long as you're getting it done. It's really important to make sure that you're taking a good 20 to 30 minutes every single day to stretch. It's going to go a long way towards helping to alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing after the workout. It's also going to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward which again, especially if you're doing this challenge, is really important because if you injure yourself, you're going to have to skip a few days while you recover, and that's going to stop the momentum. A big part of the reason we do this challenge is to establish a habit of daily exercise. So hopefully by the end of the 40-day challenge, you have created that habit and you can continue. So once the challenge is over, you can continue with that habit of daily exercise. But if you injure yourself, then you're going to break that momentum and it's going to be much harder to establish that habit. So you want to make sure that you are doing whatever you can to mitigate that possibility. So taking the time to stretch every day is going to reduce your risk of injury because you're training your muscles to be generally more pliable, and you're going to increase your range of motion. And of course, you're going to improve your flexibility. So we're doing this challenge to improve our strength, and we're doing the additional cardio to improve our stamina. So why not take the time to stretch every day to also improve your flexibility while you're at it? Flexibility is a very important and I think often overlooked and undervalued aspect of your overall fitness level. So please make sure that you are taking the time to stretch every day. If you have time to do it right now, immediately after the workout or immediately after your cardio, that's going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done because your muscles are already nice and warm from the workout. But if you don't have time to stretch right now, that's fine. You can put off your stretching until later on in the day. Just remember that if you do that, your muscles will have gotten cold again. So you'll need to take a few minutes to warm them back up before you begin stretching. You never want to jump into your stretching routine with cold muscles because your muscles need to be warm in order for them to be pliable so that you can stretch them safely and effectively. But that's it. That is officially a wrap on day 5 of this challenge. So if you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. If you are doing the challenge with me, thank you so much. Please let me know so that I have an idea of how many people are participating in the challenge with me this year. And even if you're not doing the challenge, thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. Even if you're not doing the workouts, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything was unclear with the workout today, with the format and how everything fits together, if you have questions about the exercises we were doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions, if you need to see beginner modifications, I am always here to help. So please ask questions if you have them, or if you have any questions about the challenge itself, how to participate, where to begin. If you know anyone else who might be interested in participating with the challenge, please feel free to invite them, share the playlist, the more the merrier. But that is going to do it for today. I will see you all right back here tomorrow for day 6. Bye.